Greetings, everyone. This is Tom Nickel, coming at you from Phnom Penh with episode 10 of our Cambodian art VR project. I think it's going to be a little more atmospheric than usual tonight. I'm producing these podcasts, recording them, in an apartment I have in a really special place. It's called YK Art House. It's a guest house. It's kind of in a little alley off of a street in one of the more developed and nicer sections of Phnom Penh, BKK1. Nevertheless, it's really Cambodia. It's not a hotel. It's not this hermetically sealed environment with little hermetically sealed rooms so that you in some kind of a safety comfort tube. It's definitely Cambodia. And in the background right now, what I expect you're hearing at some level, I'll find out later, is some sort of a Cambodian party going on. There's a pretty big house that's being built next to this guest house. I think they're maybe doing some kind of a party celebration there. I don't know. Also, on this very street, there's a small independent local liquor distillery, rum distillery, I believe it is. And once a week, they do a party Thursday night. It'll be tomorrow night. In fact, you'll hear it on the podcast tomorrow night. And it's right out. It spills out onto the streets. They usually have a live band, live music. It's loud. It can go till 11 o'clock, midnight, right in this tight little area that's residential, commercial, everything. It's Phnom Penh. There's no zoning. There's no noise regulation. Just do it, And so you just have to get the attitude like, okay, well, I've got a free ticket to a concert, and look at it that way. And I'll be interested to hear how this sounds in the background. Maybe it'll be nice. The real expensive, well-produced podcasts have a whole, sound design with subtle sounds in the background to add to the engagement, and maybe this will work. We'll see. What I want to focus on, though, isn't the background engagement, but the kind of recap of today for the project. Not like Tom's journal, but the project. How did the project do today? The project had an amazing couple of days before, in the sense that the trip on the bus has really sharpened my focus of web-based episodic storytelling to the bus. It's crazy to be casting as wide a net as I have been thinking. I think I have some ideas of what I can do with the material that we recorded already, the interview that Van Rith did with Abel, and in fact, that's what I went and did today. First, at about sometime in the late morning, I met with Arn. He happened to be in town. He's flying away to the States. He does it about 4 times a year now by himself, fundraising. But he had some stuff he had to do at Aeon Mall. He was meeting someone at Aeon Mall to pick up some things that then he was going to take to the States to his family there. In any event, I met him there, and after a little bit of, getting things organized, it's never quite straightforward with Arn. We came back to my place, leaving his van there, because my place is on this little teeny alleyway, the YK Art House. But it's a perfect setup, YK Art House, for an interview. It's got this really nice, open, sunny courtyard area, but also shady because it's hot today in the 90s already by, before noon. And it's quiet enough, and it's got a nice kind of, there's things growing, a nice atmosphere. And I've done other interviews there too. So Arn and Deka, who was with him, and I came back to YK Art House. And I really quickly, I showed him my apartment, wanted to, see it, and he thought it was pretty cool. Then we went down, and I just set up, bing, bang, boom, the lavaliers and the 360 camera, and got the backstory on a 360 video of the Khmer Magic music bus from Arn. It was a little rambling. Maybe I'll get him to do it other times. He can tell the story in other ways. But I got something. And he said some of the things just perfectly awesomely. Sometimes maybe went off a little bit more on tangents. But there it is. Good 10 minutes or so of Arn telling the backstory, all the way to the furthest back, which is, even though the bus itself has been here for, I think it's, just a little over 2 years, it was 4 years ago that a group of students was here and on a rented bus, and just kind of spontaneously, Arn and the students were walking at some place, actually near the Thai border. There was a big Khmer Rouge area, and There's some old musician there, and they just kind of made some impromptu music, and people came and listened, and boing, the idea was born. What if we started playing real traditional music for the people out here now? Now that Cambodian Living Arts has done what it's done, we've still got to take the music out to the people. They're not going to come in Phnom Penh and watch the performances. And it took a while after that for the Kickstarter campaign to happen in the States and the bus to get bought, but it did. And that's pretty much the story that I have now, and hopefully I'll use it some way as a setup, as part of this kind of web-based multimedia episodic storytelling idea that I've got. We'll see, but it was good. And then, let's see, projects these days, of course, rise or fall on file management. And so after I spent some time with Aaron, I needed to really stay on top of all these media files that the project is generating already. The camera got hot interviewing that long down there, so I'm still not totally sure what's happening with the camera. Had to get files off there and backed up here and whatnot. And by the time I did that, had some lunch, Srey came over, my friend now, and we thought we were going to do a little gig together a couple days ago, but it didn't come to pass. And so, but this afternoon we were set up to go to the dress rehearsal for the students of Abel, who I had done the interview recording with previously. The dress rehearsal for the big competition tomorrow. This is Culture Week, this week of the whole year, in Phnom Penh, and there will be competition among the dance groups from the various schools and other places tomorrow, and this was dress rehearsal. So we got some 360 video. It was really fun working with Srey. He did the whole camera setup, and he had an incredible tripod. One big problem, I still don't think we've got it down by any means, but how do you record dance? Do you put your camera right there in the front and then it's in the way? It's just obstacle right there between the audience and the dancers. It's tough to know what to do. I don't think I've figured out at all. The idea of putting it on the stage really seems obnoxious to me, even in a dress rehearsal. So what Srey had was a pretty good sized tripod, got up to 6 feet or something, but then he put a selfie stick that he could screw the selfie stick instead of a camera into the top of the tripod, and then extended it another whole bunch of feet. Put our camera, the 360 camera, on top of the selfie stick, and then that meant we could put the tripod on the floor, not on the stage. But it was so high that it was at I guess, the right level for capturing the dance. Maybe not quite eye level, which is what I think I'd like, and we also weren't in that magic zone of 3 to 5 feet away. Sometimes we were, but not always. So I think it's suboptimal, but we got something, and who knows, it's all part of a learning and how you do things. And for me, the real thing was working with him, and because he did that, I focused on 2 other things. I had the Tascam sound recorder there, so I had a whole backup recording of the music being played and whatnot. I mean, who knows how I'll use it? I don't know, maybe I will. But I could do that, that's the point. And also, I recorded standard video with my iPhone, which I normally would not have been in such a position to do, and I got some nice little moments of Abel, just nice little hunks of video of her moving and dancing and making some nice expressions, so that can get used somehow too. So we did that. That was in the late afternoon. Took a while, there's always waiting around but not getting back and forth. But so it was probably 5 o'clock by the time we're back at YK Art House, and so that was my 2 recording sessions of the day. Arn, and then the dress rehearsal. And they both went very well. It was fun. I felt great, working with somebody. From then on, I've been on my own. Where the project is, it's been the file management. I've had to still, files to back up, and moving things off a 360 camera is a whole big deal of using Bluetooth to transfer the file from the camera onto your iPhone. And then I don't really even want to work on it on the phone. I want to work on my laptop. Another step of transfer, and a whole big deal. So I did some of that. And let's see, I think tomorrow is a pretty mellow day for the project. Maybe I'll get to work. Maybe tomorrow will be taking some of this great content that's been developed in the last couple of days, and maybe I can start doing a little bit of editing and storytelling and pushing it further and seeing what we got. There is one other thing too, and boy, am I looking forward to this. I'm going to be getting together with Som Nang tomorrow afternoon. He's that guy that plays the Sharpay, the really, really talented young man. And what I want to do with him now is brainstorm. I got to tell you, I have a feeling that he is the guy who I can kind of share the outline of my idea as to how we do this multimedia, episodic, web-based thing, and tracing these storylines of the individuals, of the bus as a whole. You know, how can we use the lots and lots of footage that we already have as my ideas are still sketchy, and I think I can do some good brainstorming with him. I also think we might come over here and do some 360 sort of background personal story interviewing with him, because I think one thing that's going to happen is when we're storytelling in the primary storyline and we want to branch off and follow a character or whatnot, we're not HBO. We don't have the money to then go shoot video in that place, so the audience can fully visualize it. A lot of the way that we, tell about things happening right now in the moment, the backstory for a character, that kind of a thing, is going to be in telling, it's going to be in talking. So who knows how just the audio footage of him telling past stories could be the way in the present moment of any episode we fill in and flashback and do other kind of windings of the personal stories. So that's my rough idea of things now. I mean, really rough. But I'm looking forward to. I really think that the idea of a creative collaboration with him is going to be useful. So, and I think he's going to be the key. Actually, I think he's going to be the guy that carries it. I think Arn is going to be some kind of a soul of the show, but I think that he is going to be the one that people wonder what's going to happen next. What's he going to do next? So, on that note, this has been episode 10. The date today is the end of, is it September 28th? Yeah, this is the end of February. And I'm signing off podcast episode 10, end of February, Phnom Penh. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.